Oh, what a mess of engines. This is a total of 3 engines that are up here. I got these as parts engines and trying to make one good one. Unfortunately, with 79cc engines, 79 to 99 cc's, there's really not a lot of replacement parts for those engines. You're really just stuck buying a brand new engine or finding a good used one. As for parts, for example, like cams, lifters, bearings, definitely connecting rods and pistons. These things you could find, like the actual rods that go into the head of the engine. These are pretty easy to find too, and these are as well, since these are all kind of like performance related. People are going to go and get those for their 7999cc applications. What is another really difficult one to find? Ah, yes, the seals. That thing. Crankcase seal. Anyways, why do I have a litter of just random engines and pieces here? Well, I have been working on that 99cc that's on my Red Riddler, right? In the last couple of weeks, it's just been smoking a ton. Yeah, that's kind of a smoker, but yeah, it's fine. And I've been trying to pinpoint why it's smoking. I thought it was the seals that are up here in this region. The seals right here. So you have one on the intake and you have one on the exhaust. This is just an example. They're not there right at the moment. I replaced those and it still smokes. It has great compression. Doesn't have any weird ticking, knocking noises or anything. Rings are good. They're gapped correctly. It still smokes. And my last thing I can think of that would cause it to smoke is valve guides. The guide is right here. It's like a little bit of a darker color metal right here. What happens after a long time of use is they wear out and they give a little bit of wiggle room for that valve to kind of allow oil to seep past through those and cause a smoky situation. That is my guess of why it's doing that. What I'm doing here is this engine right here is pulled off of a Massimo mini bike. And if you know anything about the Massimo engines, they have hemispherical pistons in them. Why is that important? Well, I'll tell you why that's important. You see, there is a little trick on the internet where people are taking Predator 212's Hemi version and sticking a GX160 head on it. The GX160 head is a smaller displacement head, of course, and the hemispherical piston drives more compression without doing any work with either the deck of the engine or shaving the head. This is a hemispherical piston, and I'm going to take one of these good heads that I have and put it on here and make a banger of an engine with it. And then I'm going to take the Hemi that was off of this engine. You can see it's really weird. So that's a Hemi off of the 79cc. And this is just a normal. That's just a normal head on the 79cc. So yeah. Hemis, they have the valves pointing at angles. Better flowing. It's, you know, you're not going straight up and down like these do. They are straight up and down, where these are kind of angled. So the flow is much easier going in and out of this versus going just a straight down, then this, and then that, and then back out again. So this would be a lot better for high revving engines like my 99cc is. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this and put it on my 99cc, get one of these non-Hemi heads, and stick it on a Hemi block. Alright, the mention I forgot to mention was, why is this engine up and up to begin with? When I got this engine, it had a bent crankshaft on the end of it. So I had a kind of an old worn out 99cc and try to stick the crankshaft out of it and put it in here. They do fit, but they are stroked. These are a little bit taller than the 79cc's. So the piston actually walked itself up above the deck just a little bit. And I thought I could get it on there, but no, it hits the top of the head and makes horrible noises. So I am putting a 79cc crankshaft in it and putting it in there. See if that works. This is the 99cc crankshaft, and that's the 79cc crankshaft. And you can tell they kind of cheaped out on the 99, and the 79's got a way beefier design to it. What I like to do with my engines, especially when I'm doing governor removals, is I'm going to take the governor gear out. Now, you might be like, oh, well, that's the typical thing. Like, everybody takes that governor gear that's inside the engine out. No, there's another one that a lot of people don't take out. Is this gear. It usually goes right here. It's kind of like press fitted in, just like this cam gear is. I just take this off because, well, this is just added weight. You want to make as less rotational mass as possible to get quicker RPMs and probably more efficient. So that's why I do that. Same thing for cams. A lot of people like to throw out these plastic cams, but they are lighter than the metal cams. Sure, the metal cams last longer and they are, not prone to doing weird stuff. And these are actually, they make more power with these cams in than these do. I'm pretty sure the lobes are exactly the same. Duration is the same. It might be just because this is lighter and it could spin a lot better on the crank because it's less centrifugal mass. But that's probably overthinking it. But I like to think that putting a lighter cam in there does equal less rotational mass inside the engine. Alright, 2 o'clock in the morning, that's a little loud to be running. If you know anything about these 79cc's that come off of Massimo mini bikes, they're actually Hemis, and the piston is a hemispherical piston. So to add a little bit more compression, I put a regular 79cc head on it. It's a little bit, it's not like a huge difference, but it does add a little bit more torque to it. I've just added my standard stock carburetor with a drilled out main jet and got that EC carburetor's adapter, high flow air filter. Yeah, I know I'm using a fuel filter as a air breather filter. Works. Coleman CT 100U fuel tank, little wiener pipe I made with a RLV 91 mini silencer on it. Not too sure what to do with it. I don't really have any projects that'll be on it, but it's a good running engine. Anyways, I am frozen. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.